Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was Accused as Traitor Imprisoned and Awaken His Inner Demon Part 1. Before we start, please go support Yuto-sans11 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. Izuku was accused of being a traitor and was sent to the worst prison of all Tartaros. In addition to losing everything, he still continues to move forward to fulfill his dream and his promise. Chapter 1: My True Power. Everything was dark and cold. I felt like my body was slowly shutting down. I looked around and all I saw was destruction until I saw my father approaching. He was badly hurt, but I still remember his words. Hisashi, Izuku, you are not a monster. You can be whatever you want to be. You just have to believe and trust in yourself. I'm sorry to give you this burden, but I know you'll make it, and one day you'll be a great hero or whatever you decide to be. I'm sorry, son, for not being with you anymore, but I'll always be here in your heart because I love you. With that said, my father took his last breath. I just started to cry. I didn't know what to do. A 4-year-old boy saw his father die in front of his eyes. I just started to move him, to call him to wake up so he wouldn't leave me. I yelled, "Dad, Dad, Dad!" Izuku, Dad, don't leave me. It was just a dream, although I feel like there was still something missing from that dream. Well, it's time to get up. I'm late for classes. Who am I, or am I sorry for not introducing myself? I am Izuku Midoriya. I am 15 years old and I go to UA High School in the Hero course. Many things have happened in my life since I was diagnosed Quirkless when I was a child that made my life hell, but everything improved since I became the successor of the hero and won All Might. Thanks to that, I was able to enter the UA and fulfill my dream of becoming a hero. Many things have happened when I entered since the attack of the villains in the USJ, the sports festival where I declared my feelings to the girl I like, Ochako Uraraka, and they were reciprocated, then the attack on the camp and the battle of All Might against AFO that ended with his defeat, and the withdrawal of All Might that was a great blow to society. Because of that accident, the school created dormitories, and it is where we live now. Many things have happened, but we still do not know what the future holds. Izuku, well, everything is ready. Well, it would be better if I went. Izuku left his room and went downstairs to leave the classroom. Kirishima, oh Izuku bro, where are you going? Izuku, I'm going out to train a little. I'll be back later. Kirishima, you really try hard. You're a real man. See you later. Izuku left the residence but ran into someone. Izuku, hello Ochako, how are you? Ochako, I'm fine, and where are you going? Izuku, I'm going to go train. Ochako, can I go with you? We haven't gone out in a long time. Izuku, I'm not sorry, it's just that I want to train something individual and I don't want to give you problems. But what do you think if another day we go out all day, just you and me? Ochako, good luck. Izuku just kissed Ochako and left. Izuku went into the bisque near the school. He went in so far that he saw a barrier that said no entry, but he went in. He got ready, left his things, and started warming up to train. Meanwhile, he was at the Class 1A residence. Momo, hey guys, has anyone seen Midoriya? Ochako, so you don't need to. Momo, the director asked me to tell you something. Do you know where it is? Kirishima, he said he was going to train. He probably went to the forest, or a training room. That's when Todoroki enters the room. Todoroki, I saw him enter the forest. He's probably around there. Momo, thank you very much guys. Well, I'll go find him to give him the message. Momo left and headed towards the forest. She spent a while searching but didn't find anyone. She continued a bit until she saw a stream with a no entry sign. When she saw it, she decided to leave, but she heard a loud bang coming from inside the area, and then she heard a loud scream. Momo got scared and didn't know what to do, but she decided to go see what was happening. As she got closer and closer, the bangs and screams got louder until she was about to arrive. She could see her partner Midoriya sitting in a tree, very hurt and bleeding. Momo got scared, and then she saw a being completely dressed in black standing in front of Izuku. Tell me, is that all you have? Izuku, no, I haven't given up yet. I promised to be able to surpass you so I could protect everyone, he said, struggling to stand, but the other being hit him in the stomach, throwing him back into the tree. he said to turn into a shadow and enter inside Izuku. At the moment of doing that, Izuku began to release steam and his wounds were closing little by little. Izuku, again I couldn't hit him, I'm useless. Momo, Midoriya is you. Upon hearing that, Izuku just turned around and saw Momo, who had a scared face because of what she witnessed. Izuku, Yaoyorozu, what are you doing here? He tried to get up but fell again. Momo, Midoriya, are you okay? You're very hurt. Tell me what you were doing. Izuku, yes, I just need to rest and I was training. Momo, training, but look how you are. You have blood all over you, and who or what you were fighting against? Izuku, against me. Momo, what are you talking about? Izuku, that he was me. In a few words, he is my power. Momo, but I thought your quirk was super strength. Izuku, no, this is not a quarrel. It's something worse. It's a curse that I've had since I was a child and I've been trying to control. Momo, what are you talking about? Tell me what you really are. Izuku, when I was a child I was diagnosed quirkless. Since then I suffered from abuse. Since then they made fun of me, they hurt me, but one day I began to hear a voice coming from my head telling me to hurt others, but I never accepted it. But one day I lost control and someone got hurt. Since then I always tried to keep myself under control, but now that these things are happening, I want to become stronger to protect them regardless of that. That's why I'm training in secret, so please don't tell anyone. Momo, thinking. Seriously, he's been through all that. He looks a bit like me. Okay, I won't say anything, but let me help you with your wounds. Izuku, don't worry, thanks to my power I can heal myself. Momo, and tell me who else knows about you. Izuku, well, you, the director and Endeavor, they were the ones who provided me with this area to train without attracting attention, even though you discovered me. And tell me what you were doing here. Momo, yes, that's right, I came to tell you something. The director asked you in his office. Izuku, okay, when I finish healing I'll go, and thanks for keeping my secret. Momo, don't worry, I also understand a little about what it feels like to be alone. Izuku, hehe, well then it would be better if we went. Momo, yes. The two got up and left the place. Izuku went straight to the address while Momo returned to the residence. Izuku, tell me, director, what did you want to talk to me about? Nizu, Izuku, it's good to see you back. I just wanted you to inform me about your progress. Izuku, well, I'm doing well, but someone discovered me. Nizu, really, who? Izuku, my partner Yaoyorozu Momo, she found me while I was training, but don't worry, she said not to tell anyone. Nizu, okay, I'll believe your word, but even so, be careful if they discover you. I won't be able to protect you anymore. Izuku, I lose and I am very grateful. Nizu, well that's all, you can leave now. Izuku just got up and bowed to leave the direction. He went to the residence where he took a bath, and went straight to bed, but before sleeping he received a message. Momo. Midoriya, you're awake. Izuku. Yes, what's up, Yaoyorozu? Momo. We can talk about what happened. I'll see you outside the residence at the bench. Izuku. Okay, see you in 5 minutes. Momo. Okay. Izuku got up and prepared to leave. He walked carefully so as not to wake anyone and left the residence. When he left, he saw Momo sitting on the bench. He just approached and sat down. Izuku, and tell me what you want to know. Momo, how long have you been holding back? Izuku, almost my whole life, but it's harder when I get upset. There have been many times that I almost unleashed him. Momo, and your parents know about this? Izuku, my dad died when I was 4 years old and my mom died of an illness 2 years ago. I never had time to tell them, although if they knew they would still accept me for who I am. They were always like that. Momo, sorry, I didn't want you to remember that. Izuku, don't worry, I think I needed to talk to someone about this. Momo, and tell me why you haven't told anyone, not even Ochako. Izuku, because I don't want to worry anyone. And tell me, would you see me the same way if you knew that I have this dark power? I've thought about it, but I prefer that they believe that I'm just a weakling than that I'm a villain. Momo, then you won't tell anyone. Izuku, yes, I will, but when I master it, I don't want to tell them and have them think I could be a danger. That's why I train with all my effort to not harm but to protect. Momo, I don't think I've ever seen that side of you, Midoriya. Izuku, well, one has to change to fit in, especially when you can hurt someone you love. Momo, so you pretend to be a shy and friendly person. Izuku, yes and no, everything you've seen is me, both the part you know and the part you're getting to know, everything is part of me, but even so, my bad part is the one I have locked away. Momo, then let me help you. I know we haven't talked much, but I know you're a good person and I don't want you to carry that burden alone, so let me help you lighten that load. Izuku, you mean it? Momo, of course I don't know what I can do to help you control it, but I'll always be there to listen and support you. Izuku, thanks, but tell me why you're helping me. Momo, because I know what it feels like to have problems and not have someone to help you solve them or to listen to you. Izuku, hee, thank you very much, Yaoyorozu. Momo, tell me, Momo, if I'm going to help you, we have to be good friends, right? Izuku, hee, okay Momo, then you tell me. Izuku. Momo, okay Izuku, we better go because it's getting very late, and we don't want to be discovered. Izuku, that's true. He said to get up and help Momo get up when the two were about to enter. Izuku spoke. Izuku, hey Momo. Momo, what's up? Izuku, thank you so much for this, I feel like you've taken a weight off my shoulders. Momo, you're welcome and remember I'll be there for whatever you need. Izuku, thank you. Chapter 2 Breakup. It's already the next morning and everyone is waking up in the residence. Everyone was getting ready for school, almost everyone was in the dining room, those who were missing were going down. Izuku was already ready and came down. Izuku, good morning. All good morning. Ochako, hello Izuku, good morning, how are you? Izuku, very well Ochako, you've already eaten. Ochako, I wasn't expecting you. Izuku, okay then let's eat. But before you go sit down. Momo, hello, good morning Izuku. Izuku, oh hello Momo, good morning. Momo, Izuku, I wanted to know if you have plans this afternoon. Izuku, I don't know. He said to turn to see Ochako, who was looking at Momo strangely to realize that Izuku was looking at her. Ochako, don't worry, I'll go to the mall with the girls. Izuku, okay, well I have nothing to do. Momo, okay, I wanted to know if you could help me with some of my training. Izuku, sure, no problem, see you after class. He said it so that Izuku and Ochako would sit down. Ochako, since when do you get along so well with Momo? Izuku, well, some things happened yesterday, but you don't have to worry, she's just a friend, I only love you. He said to give her a smile that made Ochako blush. The morning passed quietly at school. Normal classes and normal training. The class hours had passed and everyone went their separate ways. Ochako went shopping with Ajui and Nina while Izuku was preparing for his training and waiting for Momo. Meanwhile, Momo was getting ready and also thinking about what she could do to help Izuku with his problem. After a while, Momo got off. Momo, I'm ready now. Izuku, okay, let's go, let's not waste time. He said to head to the area where Izuku trains in secret. Upon arrival, they prepared to train. Momo explained to Izuku her problem with her training, to which Izuku advised and helped her to solve it. Once there, Izuku moved away from Momo a little and began his training so that the dark being that stood in front of Izuku would come out again. Okay, ready for another day in hell. Izuku, you know that lost its grace the 30th time you said it. Shut up, okay, let's start. He said so that the two of them got into combat mode and started fighting. At first he seemed to stop the fight, but little by little Izuku was losing until in a careless moment he received a big blow to his stomach that made him fly and crash into a tree. Izuku only spat out a little blood and stood up again. He was angry for feeling so useless. That's it, get angry but don't let yourself be controlled, that will only make this easier. Hearing that, Izuku just calmed down and closed his eyes to just sigh and open them again, showing that his emerald green eyes had changed to red like blood. Izuku threw himself back into the battle and began to throw punches. His strength had increased. The fight was back to being even. After a while, Izuku decided to rest since his power was reaching Then he heard footsteps to turn around to see who it was, only to see Momo, who was approaching. Izuku, you've finished your training. Momo, I'm just taking a break, and you? Izuku, I'm already beginning to understand more or less how my power works. Momo, hey Izuku, tell me what your power really is. Izuku, let's say it's all my negative energy, as if it were my alter ego. The figure you saw is the one that contains all my hatred, anger, sadness, and fear. In simple words, it's my demon. Everyone has their own. Some have it very hidden inside while others show it in all its splendor. But mine is separate from me. That's why I trained to be able to control it instead of it controlling me. Momo, I see that's why you're trying so hard, and leaving that topic aside, how are you doing with Ochako? Izuku, well, I still can't believe that she will accept me, but I feel happy when I'm with her. That's why I don't want her to know what I really am. And you, who is your Prince Charming? Momo, what are you talking about? I don't have anyone. Izuku, I really thought Todoroki was very special to you. Momo, he's just a good friend whom I admire a lot. Izuku, really? He said, looking at her with eyes that said, I don't believe you. Momo, shut up already. He said, tapping him on the shoulder. Momo, I really don't know what it's like to be in love. I've never felt it. Most of the boys who are close to me only do it because of my last name and my body, so I haven't found anyone special. Izuku, I'm being honest with you, he said while stroking her head. Izuku, not even I can explain to you how it feels to be in love. It's something that happens when you find that special person. Love is not something you look for, but something that finds you, and you never know when it's going to arrive. But don't worry. One of these days you'll find someone who doesn't see you as Yaoyorozu Momo but as Momo Yaoyorozu. I finished by giving her a smile that made Momo blush a little. Momo, thanks for listening to me. Izuku, thanks to you for keeping my secret. Well, I think it's time to move on a little, don't you think? Momo, I think so. So the two got up and continued with their training while Ochako and I were already on our way back to the nail. Mina, what's up, Ochako? I see you're very thoughtful. Ochako, it's nothing, I was just thinking about Izuku. Mina, don't tell me what you haven't told him. Ochako, not really, but today he was acting weird, especially when I talked to Momo. I don't know what to think. Mina, well, I'll just tell you to choose quickly, otherwise you'll lose everything. Besides, you're worried about Momo, she's the most innocent of all. Don't you think she'll do anything? Ochako, you're right, I'm just worrying about nothing. Ajri, what are you talking about, Kero? Ochako, look, we're almost there. The three girls continued on their way until they reached the residence, but from afar they could see how Izuku and Momo came out of the forest all sweaty, talking as if nothing had happened and laughing. Ochako, seeing this, panicked and ran to the residence in sight of her two friends. Izuku and Momo only entered the residence and went to their 2 rooms to bathe and change. So the week passed. After Ochako saw Izuku with Momo, she distanced herself a little from Izuku. He didn't know the reason. He thought he had done something wrong, but he didn't know that it was already Sunday. Izuku was in his room thinking what to do to make Ochako forgive him, so he gathered his courage and went to Ochako's room, running into Todoroki first. Todoroki, hello Izuku, how are you? Izuku, oh hey Todoroki, well I was just going to Ochako's room. Hey, since I see you, I have a question. Do you like someone? Todoroki just kept his cold expression. Todoroki, who knows the truth, I'm still getting used to this thing of being more friendly and open. Izuku, he right, well, see you later Dorado. Todoroki. Todoroki, sure, bye. Izuku headed back to his girlfriend's room. He was already in front of the door, but before knocking he heard voices, so he thought she was busy, but suddenly he heard something else. Ochako, so give me harder. Tell me who is better, me or Midoriya? Ochako, you're the one who turned me into a woman. Izuku would never do that. That's true, he's a coward when it comes to these things, so let's enjoy it more. Ochako, yes Lita, make me all yours. Upon hearing that, Izuku just stood there in front of the door. Small tears began to fall from his eyes. He placed his hand on his chest and squeezed his shirt tightly. He then left the place without making any noise. He went down to the living room where some classmates and Momo, who was in the kitchen, were. Kirishima was the first to see Izuku. He looked half dead, so he approached him. Kirishima, Izuku, are you okay? What happened? Izuku, nothing, I was just looking for Ochako. Kirishima, so you know. Izuku, perhaps you already knew what you're referring to. Kirishima, Mina told me something, but don't worry, we're here to help you. Kirishima was going to take Izuku's shoulder but was hit in the hand by Izuku. Izuku, don't touch me! Everyone screamed and turned to see what was happening. Momo came out of the kitchen to see what was happening and looked at Izuku with his gaze lowered while several of his classmates tried to calm him down. Kirishima, calm down bro, I was just trying to help. He said to try to get closer to Izuku. Izuku, don't come any closer. He screamed to look up and show his blood-red eyes. At that moment Izuku looked in the mirror to quickly cover his eyes and get out of there as fast as possible. Momo, what happened? Why did Izuku get like that? While asking that, footsteps were heard to show Lida and Ochako, who had just come to see what was happening. Ochako, guys, what happened? Who shouted? Kirishima, Izuku already knows. Momo, what are you talking about? Ochako, it seems that whoever told her already knows. Kirishima, nobody said they were looking for you, so I'd better go to your room. Lida, well, sooner or later I would know. Momo, someone tell me what happened because Izuku left so angry. Ochako, nothing that matters to you, Hitch. Momo, what's wrong with you? I haven't done anything to you. Ochako, so tell me how many times you did it with him. Tell me I saw you two come out of the forest very sweaty and happy. Don't tell me you didn't do anything, but that doesn't matter to me anymore because I have Lida now and he will make me happy. But he couldn't finish speaking because he received a slap from Momo that left everyone perplexed. Momo, you don't know anything, I didn't do any of that, you just made his life harder with what you just did. He truly loved you, he cared about you so much that he broke his bones every day to keep you safe and you just broke his heart. She said to leave the residence to look for Izuku. Although she knew where Momo would be, she went into the forest where they trained, and in the distance she saw Izuku sitting in a tree hugging his legs. She just approached and stood in front of him to hug him. Momo, calm down, everything is fine, I'm here for you. With that said, Izuku hugged her and began to shed tears to begin to vent. They stayed like that for a while. Meanwhile, at school, in the principal's office, something else was happening. The principal had received a disc with something written on it, Traitor. Nizu, what is this? I have to call the teachers. This must be something important. Chapter 3 Betrayal. In the school's office was Principal Nizu with a video disc that said Traitor. He didn't know what to think about this, but if it was a way to find out the truth, he would take the risk, so he called all the teachers to see what was on the disc. Time passed and everyone arrived. Tashinori, what's up, director? Why did you gather us all? Nizu, this came to my office and I wanted to see it with all of you. Midnight, and what do you think it contains? Nizu, I don't know, but you have to see it at once. He said to put the video and see a shot of the back of the school. In the shot, a black smoke appeared from where Tamura and Kurijaya came out. It seemed like they were waiting for someone to show Toga accompanied by a green-haired boy that everyone recognized. Tamura, they're late. Izuku, sorry, but remember that she is difficult to work with. Tamura, whatever, they have the papers. Izuku, yes, here you have the teachers' schedules and their names too, so that's all you wanted. Tamura, for now yes, but we'll keep in touch. Remember not to get caught walking, Toga. We're done here. Izuku, yes, but I hope it's fast because I'm getting tired of pretending to be a good boy and also wanting to be a hero, but if it's for Sensei, I'll put up with it. Tamura, if you just hold on a little longer, Sensei is happy with your progress, so bye. He said to enter the portal and leave. With that the video ended, leaving everyone surprised and All Might angry. All Might, how can that damn brat trust him, and this is how he repays me? Nizu, calm down, Tashinori. We still don't know if he really is the one. Tashinori, director, don't you see? That little brat wants to make us look like idiots. We have to do something. Nizu, tomorrow we will talk to him and resolve this. That's all for today, don't say anything. He said for everyone to leave the office, leaving the director alone. Nizu, young Midoriya, I hope you are strong because I don't know what will happen from now on, but I trust you. Meanwhile, with Izuku and Momo, they were still in the forest hugging each other. Izuku had calmed down a bit, and they sat under a tree. Momo, and now what are you going to do? Izuku, I'm going to break up with her. If she's not happy with me, it's fine as long as she's happy, but I think I can't pretend anymore. If I continue like this, I could hurt someone. Momo, then you will tell everyone about what you are or suppress them again, your anger. Izuku, I'll think about it, but I think I already have the answer. Momo, okay, then we're going. Izuku, you went ahead, I'll stay a little longer. I want to think about something. Momo, okay, but don't do anything stupid. Izuku, calm down, I won't do it. Momo just nodded and left, leaving Izuku alone. He settled down and crossed his legs so that a figure of a person was created in front of him. Izuku, I wanted to talk to you, my demon. Demon, you know I like you calling me demon and that you're going to let yourself be consumed by your darkness to get revenge. Izuku, you know our mother raised us better than that. Demon, and that means you'll lock me up again, you know very well. Izuku, no, never again, this is not good for me or you, so there is only one thing to do. Izuku, accepting you, we will no longer be two beings. The reason why I didn't accept you is because I was afraid of you, afraid of doing what I did before again. But talking to you, training and being with you, I know we won't do it again. Demon, and how do you know that we won't kill anyone again, that we won't get out of control again? Izuku, because I am you and you are me, and we know that we will be better than before and we will fulfill Mom's promise, that's why I accept you. Demon, you're an idiot, but if you make a mistake and it hurts us again. Izuku, it doesn't matter that the world is against us. If our light dies, our darkness will be stronger. That's why I want you to be part of me again. Demon, it's okay, but if they betray us or deceive us again. Izuku, we will overcome this and change this world. She said to give him a smile and extend her hand, which he just smiled and took to disappear and enter Izuku. Izuku, together we will always be unstoppable. Well, it's better if I get back. He said to return to the dorms and go straight to his room without anyone seeing him. It is the next day and everyone was already preparing to go to school. Izuku was the one who left first. He did not feel like talking to anyone. He was the first to arrive in the classroom. Time passed and everyone was arriving and taking their seats. Izuku just prepared to look towards the window, but in the principal's room the teachers were meeting since they were ready to arrest the traitor except the principal who trusted his student. Everyone was already in the classroom when Aizawa arrived. Aizawa, good morning. First of all, Midoriya, come with me. They need you at the address. Izuku just stood up and accompanied Aizawa towards the principal's office. Once they arrived, all the teachers looked at the young green-haired boy with hatred. Izuku felt their stares, so he started doing it in front of the principal. Nizu, young Midoriya knows why he is here. Izuku, no. Nizu, first of all I want to show you something. He said so that Izuku nodded and the director put the video. Izuku was amazed at what he saw. Nizu, and what do you say? Izuku, I'm not the traitor, I swear, I would never do anything to harm my comrades. He couldn't finish before he received a powerful blow that knocked the wind out of him, to his surprise. All Might, don't lie, traitor. I trusted you, so give me back the one for all. Izuku, I tell him it wasn't me. All Might, there is proof, don't resist anymore and give it to me. Izuku, it's okay, take your power, I don't need it, I promise to change this world and I will. He said to pull out a hair and give it to All Might and get up from the seat angry. He was about to leave but he felt like he was going to get hit that he barely managed to dodge to see who was responsible. It was All Might. All Might, you're not just leaving here, you're going to jail. Izuku only saw the principal who said to run in a low voice since Izuku could read his lips and left the office, Meanwhile, Class 1A was wondering why they called Izuku. Everyone was talking until Aizawa arrived and explained the situation. Many were enraged with Izuku while two were worried about him. Before saying more, something was heard over the speakers. All Might, attention all classes, student Izuku Midoriya is the UA traitor and is now on the run from the teachers. They are allowed to help in his capture. He said to cut the transmission, and everyone went out to go for Izuku, who was escaping from the teachers when and was going to reach the exit. He was received by an explosion from Bakugo. Then being hit by a kick from Linda and being hit by the rest of his class. Izuku was being beaten up until in a fit of rage an explosion was created that drove everyone away. Izuku looked around and saw how everyone had an angry face, but in the middle of them all he saw how Momo and Todoroki had a worried face. He saw how Todoroki wanted to freeze everyone's feet, and Momo wanted to go help him, but he just smiled and said, "Izuku, don't worry, I'll be fine. After all, I never break my promises, so don't do anything stupid." He said to start playing and spit blood, to faint before everyone's eyes. Momo wanted to go help him but was stopped by Todoroki. He knew that if she went they would arrest her too, and that's not what Izuku wants. So the teachers carried Izuku and took him away. Everyone else had a smile of victory, but only two people suffered for what happened to their friend so much that tears came out, but still they know that he will not lose so easily, or yes. Chapter 4 Goodbye Deku. The Tartar prison, the most secure prison in the world, where the most dangerous criminals in the world are found. On the top floors, our hero is handcuffed to the wall in shackles, unable to move. He had several wounds on his body caused by his former companions and several guards who treated him like garbage. Then, the doors open, revealing the director along with two heroes who were All Might and Endeavor. "Nizu, it's good to see you, young Midoriya." "Izuku, I would say the same if it were in other circumstances, but tell me what brings him here with the two strongest heroes." "Nizu, we just came to talk." "Izuku, well, it's a pleasure that you came to talk to me after everything that happened. What do you want me to tell you?" "Nizu, I just want to know everything you know about the League of Villains." "Izuku, well, I only know the same as you or even less, but I still think you don't believe me, so what more can I tell you that you don't know?" "All Might, I'm tired of your lies, you damn brat. Now tell us what you know. I trusted you and this is how you pay me back. I saw you as a son, but now you're just garbage." "Izuku, All Might, you're right. I may have hidden things from you, but you still don't know anything about me. I also trusted you, and the moment they showed you something that proves I was a traitor, well, you know how it ended." "All Might, damn brat." He was about to stab him but was stopped for being corrupted. "Nizu, All Might, please calm down. If you can't, please wait outside. We'll take care of it." With that said, All Might relaxed and left the room, but he still had an angry face. "Nizu, well, now that he's gone, what really happened?" "Izuku, they framed me. It was probably the League to get me out of the way, and it's good to see it, Endeavor-sensei." "Endeavor, I would say the same if you didn't see yourself as so miserable. What happened to yourself who could take on an entire army?" "Izuku, nothing is still here, but I still have to hide it since my plan has already begun." "Nizu, what are you talking about, young Midoriya?" "Izuku, I made a promise to my mother to change this world. For that I created Deku, but as you can see the light of Deku will die, so I'm going to go with the other plan. If the light doesn't change this world, the darkness will. That's why I want to ask you something." "Endeavor, and what would that be?" "Izuku, well, my plan is as follows." Izuku began to tell the plan to his teachers. They were the people he trusted the most. He knew they would help them in whatever they could. When they finished talking, the two left, leaving Izuku alone. Time passed and night fell. In front of Izuku, a portal appeared, and from there, Tamura came out with the members of his league. "Izuku, oh, I have visitors. How are you, handyman? How have you been?" "Tamura, you haven't even been locked up for a week and you're already going crazy. How low have you fallen, hero Deku?" "Izuku, well, I don't know. Tell me, was this your idea?" "Tamura, but it seems that you are still just as analytical, so I won't tell you anything, but in exchange you will tell me everything about the UA." "Izuku, what if I object?" "Tamura, Daddy, give him a sample of what we're talking about." Dottie just nodded and approached Izuku and took his chains and heated them to the point that Izuku's hands were burning. The pain was unbearable, but Izuku remained calm since he didn't want to give Tamura what he wanted. Tamura, so you act strong, you're very funny, you know. He said to give him a psychopathic smile. Tamura, I think we're going to have a lot of fun today until you talk. With that said, the League began to torture him to make him talk. Izuku could only bear it. Sometimes he couldn't stand it and let out a few screams, but he still remained silent. He wouldn't betray anyone ever again. A month passed, where Tamura tortured Izuku every night to make him talk. It was a new day. Izuku was waking up, although he didn't know what time it was. He heard something from the guards passing by. Guard 1, did you hear they say they are going to bring a new prisoner, and that he is also one of the most dangerous? Guard 2, yes, I heard it. As long as it's not our turn to take care of him, it's fine. Izuku, it seems that it is time to say goodbye. The day passed until night fell and once again the portal opened in front of Izuku. Tamura, hey little punching bag, are you ready for another round? But he didn't say anything. Tamura, it seems that today you are more down than usual. What's going on? Did we already break you? Ha! But there was no response. Tamura, you know this is not fun anymore, so this will be our farewell, hero Deku, ha 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 ha. But before saying anything else, Izuku broke the chains with what was left of One for All and launched himself to attack Tamura. But before arriving, he had to dodge a knife from Toga and Dottie's fire. Tamura, I like it that way, we have fun for the last time. Izuku launched himself again. Dottie was throwing fire that he barely dodged but still ended up with burns. Toga also entered the battle alongside the lizard. Izuku dodged every cut they wanted to give him. He only prioritized the mortals. Even so, he ended up with cuts. In a careless moment he hit them both and advanced towards Tamura. He was about to hit him but stopped in his tracks to see how a hand touched his chest to see what Tamura's was. Tamura, checkmate hero, sorry but I'll still remember you. Izuku, ha 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 ha. Izuku started laughing as his chest began to fade from Tamura's quirk. Tamura, what happened? Why are you laughing? Izuku, I'll leave you this message, Tamura. Light and darkness are opposite things but they take care of each other, but if the light goes out the darkness grows, so you killed my light Tamura, you killed Deku, so I'll give you a warning, you better hide because my darkness will get stronger, and when I find you you'll wish you had never killed my light. He said to spit blood and fall to the floor dead with a big hole in his chest. Tamura, ha ha ha, and you think I care? My darkness will consume yours, just you wait, I'll turn this world into whatever my sensei wants. He said to leave the cell through the portal and leaving Izuku's body lying there. Suddenly the cell door opened to reveal a young man with hair as black as the night itself, with eyes as red as blood and his white skin. He approached the body until he was standing next to it. You did well, hero Deku, you achieved many things, but the world didn't need you. He said to bend down and touch Deku's body's head. That's why now I take responsibility for that promise. You rest, you did well. He said so that Deku's body became a shadow and was absorbed by the young man's hand. So now it's time for the world to know our darkness by the name of demon. First I will change this prison and then the world to make it a better place. He said to leave the place and closed the cell, leaving everything in complete darkness. 2 days passed. Meanwhile at the UA the classes continued normally. It was a rainy day. Everyone was waiting for their teacher until the door opened revealing Aizawa. Aizawa, attention, I have good news for everyone. The traitor Izuku Midoriya died in his cell. Everyone was happy when they heard that except for 3 people. Bakugo, he deserved it for being a piece of trash. Uraraka, finally we'll be calmer without that traitor. Lita, yes, now we finally decide to give up on him. And so the comments continued, but some people didn't know what to say, and especially one who was holding back her tears. The classes passed normally. Everyone was already in the residence. Momo was going to her room. When she entered, she saw a letter on her desk. When she saw it, she saw that it belonged to Izuku, and it was for her, so she quickly opened it and began to read it. For Momo. Hi Momo, if you're reading this it means that something happened to me. I'm just writing to you so you know that I'll be okay, and that you don't worry about me. Although I don't know what to say, we barely knew each other, but that time we spent together was some of the best. Being able to tell someone who I am, it felt good, and I'm glad it was you. I don't know how you'll feel if something happens to me, but I'll just tell you something: I never break my promises, so I'll do everything possible to keep them, so don't worry. Wait for me to get back and we'll train together again, so this is not goodbye, it's see you later. At Izuku. After finishing reading the letter, Momo fell to her knees and began to cry while hugging Izuku's letter, thinking that she wished she had intervened that day. Chapter 5: The King of Tartaros. It's been a year since Izuku's death, and everyone continued their normal lives since everyone was happy that the traitor had died except for some people. But in the Tartaros prison something happened. After Izuku's death, a new inmate arrived at the prison and changed everything in a few weeks, so much that the villains no longer thought about doing evil, and those who opposed them had a fate worse than death. Since then, that guy is known as the King of Tartaros. But today a guest has come to talk to the king. Warden, are you sure you want to see him? I don't know how he'll take it. Calm down, I just want to make him a proposal, he will understand. Warden, but Director Nizu, I still don't understand why you want to talk to him. Nizu, because I'm impressed by what he's done in prison. If we put him on our side, he can become a great hero. Warden, yes, but he still doesn't know the terrible things he's done. Many of the criminals are afraid of him, and Nizu, it doesn't matter. I want to know what makes him so scary. Also, if I can convince him, I could have a guardian for my students. I never know when another attack could happen, and I want to be sure that my students will be safe. I don't want to lose another student. With that said, the director and the warden entered the prison. The director was surprised to see how everything was changing. The hell that was became a paradise. The cells became rooms, the prisoners smiled and talked as if they were family. The dirty prison was clean both in structure and people. Nizu, how prison changed in just 1 year. Warden, well, when he arrived he put order in this place, but at first everyone took it as a joke. But he showed that he was serious. He defeated the strongest and helped the weakest. He changed the hierarchy of the place and positioned himself at the top. But even so, he treats them as equals, helping everyone. Nizu, now I want to convince him to go to UA even more. If he could change the worst scum there is here, then I don't want to imagine what he will do at my school. Warden, I couldn't tell you, but he not only defeated the strongest, he changed them as well. Nizu, what does he mean? Warden, I'm sorry but I can't say, you'll have to talk to him to find out. With that, Nizu and the warden continued through the prison to the king's cell. Nizu continued seeing the changes in the prison. There were new things like restrooms, a place to work with metals and another with wood, until finally they arrived at the king's cell, which was now his office where he controlled the entire prison. The warden knocked on the door and heard a voice from up ahead. Warden, nice to meet you today. You have a visitor who wants to talk to you. King, let him pass and leave us alone. Warden, understood, then see you. He said to let Nizu pass and leave the place. To close the door, Nizu only saw a young man with black hair sitting at a desk reading some papers and documents. King, he is offered the position of director of the UA. Nizu, to be a king you dress like a normal young man. King, well, it's comfortable, and wearing a suit sometimes gets in the way or hinders you, and since it's been a director. Nizu, okay, tell me, are you ready? The agreed time has passed, and I see you did it. King, I tried to keep my promises until my bones break, and he likes my kingdom. Nizu, how did you do it? King, I just had to change everything from the bottom up, showing everyone that we are equal and that they still have salvation, so I gave them a place to call home and a job. Nizu, work? King, surely you saw them. The mechanical and carpentry rooms are places where material is created, whether for contractions, inventions, etc., and those who work there are the same criminals from this prison. Nizu, and tell me what you do with those who did not want to obey you. King, I gave them a fate worse than death, but that remains a secret, and tell me then, you are coming for me, isn't it? Nizu, that's right, he kept his part of the deal. Now I want him to go to UA and change my students too. King, okay, but I want to ask you a favor. Nizu, and what would that be? King, I want someone else to come with me to the UA. Nizu, you're talking about a criminal. King, he is no more like my apprentice than my subordinado. I want him to enter too. Nizu, if you trained him, he must be strong. Okay, I'll believe in you, and tell me who he is. King, the one who will become the new symbol of peace. Nizu, but what are you talking about? King, the world, even though it hurts, needs its symbol, and since Deku couldn't do it, I looked for someone worthy of doing it, and I found him. I entered him for this year so he would be ready. He still needs to train, but he's stronger than Deku was, so he'll be fine. Nizu, okay, tomorrow I'll come for you. King, okay, he'll see us at school, so see you, principal. Nizu, goodbye, King. He said to leave the place accompanied by the warden. The king just leaned back in his chair and looked at the ceiling. King, so the time has come. He said to take a microphone and speak through the prison speakers. King, attention everyone, I want you in the main room now. I have an announcement to make. With that said, everyone left what they were doing and went to the main room. Everyone had already arrived and were waiting for their king to give them the warning. In a hallway on the second floor, the king came out where everyone applauded and praised him. Once he took the microphone, everyone calmed down and paid attention. King, listen, my companions, I will leave this place. Everyone was surprised by this. King, but I will never leave you aside, you are my family, so even if I leave, I will always be looking out for you. Criminal 1, we're going to miss him. Criminal 3, let's hope he fulfills his dream. Criminal 2, we'll always follow him. And so they continued saying more things. King, thank you very much, my companions, but I can't leave you unsupervised, so I'll leave someone in charge, my right-hand man. He said so that a young man with black hair and different colored eyes stood next to him. King, some of you already know him, but I'll introduce you to those who don't. He's Yuto, my right-hand man. He'll take care of you in my absence. Yuto, you heard it, comrades, even if the king leaves, La Paz will remain and expand here so that no one else has to suffer what we have suffered. King, take good care of them if you want. He said to raise his fist. Yuto, of course I will. If I didn't do it, I would be a bad right-hand man. To bump his fist with the king's and thus ended the announcement. Some cried for the departure of their king, but they knew it was for a good cause. The day passed, and now the king was out of the Tartar prison. King, take care of them for my warden, leave Yuto in charge, he will send me a weekly report on how things are going, but if something happens, call me. Warden, we will miss you, not only the inmates, but also all the guards and I. You helped us a lot and changed this place for the better. Please take care of yourself. King, of course I will. I don't plan on dying until I fulfill my promise. The warden just gave him a hug that the king accepted when the car that would take the king to the UA had arrived at the center, and he said goodbye to everyone he saw as well as heading to the UA. When he arrived, he could see the director who was waiting for him along with a girl with blonde hair who was also waiting for him under the car and saw the UA building to just exhale and say, King, I'm back, but this time it will be different. Chapter 6 Back at UA. King, I'm sorry for the delay. I had some business to attend to before I left. Nizu, don't worry, I know how difficult it is to take care of a place like that, she's the one you told me about. King, so then where are we going? Nizu, your group is in a hero class, if you want we can go and introduce ourselves. King, it's good to be able to see how much progress they have made. Nizu then walking. The two followed the principal to the Gamma Gym where Class 2A was training with their quirks. All Might, well done guys, keep it up and you'll become great heroes in your Plus Ultra. All there? But then the director comes in. All Might, a passing director needs something. Nizu, yes, please call all your students. All Might, understood. At that, All Might gathered everyone and they were already in front of the director. Lita, what brings you here, director? Nizu, I came to tell you that you will have new classmates. In fact, there are 2 of them. Lita, don't you think it's unfair that they're already in 2nd grade? Wouldn't it be better to put them with the 1st graders? Nizu, no, they are very intelligent, and could be considered professionals. Everyone was surprised by the director's clarifications. Nizu, so go ahead and introduce yourselves. Then you see someone coming out of the hallway to reveal a beautiful blonde-haired girl with glasses that some already knew. Melissa, hello, it's a pleasure to see you again. I'm Melissa Shield, nice to meet you. Everyone was surprised to see Melissa since some knew that she didn't have a quirk, and that two fools were drooling over her. Momo, Melissa, what are you doing here? Melissa, I've been wanting to see you in person for so long. How have you been? He said to give her a hug. All Might, Melissa, but how are you supposed to? Melissa, hello All Might. He said it with a bit of contempt that All Might felt, and said nothing more. He knew why she treated him like that. Momo, well, and since you came in I thought you. Melissa, it was thanks to my sensei, he helped me get in, and he has been training me for 1.5 years, well, almost 2 years. Momo, and who is your sensei? Melissa, here he comes. At that moment, footsteps were heard and everyone paid attention to the hallway to see a young man with black hair, red eyes and white skin. King, sorry for the delay, I had to take a call, nice to meet you, I'm Demon, the king of Tartaros. Everyone was alarmed, one of the most dangerous guards was standing in front of them. They stood on guard and All Might stood in front of everyone to defend them. All Might, what is a criminal like you doing here? Demon, I came to be a hero and change this world, and what are you going to do, deflated balloon? They stared at each other until the director spoke. Nizu, calm down, Tashinori, I asked Demon to enter UA and he also asked him to let Melissa in. All Might, but he's a criminal and Melissa is quirkless. Demon, you don't know anything, you don't know why I was locked up or who I really am, so you can't give your opinion. Besides, Melissa does have a quirk, and I've been training her for years. All Might, what are you talking about? If it's true, prove it. Demon, it's okay Melissa, come on. Melissa, what's up sensei? Everyone was amazed because Melissa was not afraid of Demon, she even admired him, and the way she called him made everyone think. Demon, you see that rock over there? I want you to destroy it with whatever you can control. I also want to see your progress. Melissa, okay, sensei. With that everyone moved aside so Melissa could use her power if it was true that she had it. Demon forward. Melissa, one for all, full cal 30%. With that Melissa began to release yellow rays all over her body. Everyone was surprised that power was Izuku All Might's. He was astonished. He didn't know why she had that power. He just turned to look at Demon who was smiling. Demon attack. Melissa, Detroit smash. With that he gave a strong blow that pulverized the stone before everyone's eyes. They were sure that this quirk belonged to Izuku, but the one who was most surprised was Bakugo and All Might. But then Demon approached Melissa. Melissa, you see sensei, I have improved a lot. She said very excitedly. Demon just hit her on the head. Melissa, why was that sensei? Demon, I told you to use as much as you could, now give me your hand. Melissa tried to move her arm but it was numb from using her quirk, but Demon wrapped it in darkness and healed it. Demon, ready now that I've told you about using more than you can use. Melissa, sorry sensei, I thought I could use it safely. Demon, well at least you didn't get hurt too much. All Might, where did you get that power from? Demon, I gave him some trouble. Lita, how could you have given it to him? That quirk belonged to the one brought in. Demon, yes, it belonged to the hero Deku, but before he died, he asked me to give it to a person who would become the new symbol, someone he could trust, and I chose Melissa. Uraraka, he stopped being a hero at the moment of his betrayal. Demon, no, he was a great hero, but you killed him. Now I'm here to change this world and honor his memory. Also, don't act clueless. I know the whole class knows the secret of All Might. All Might, how do you know? Demon, I was an assassin, I had to know what weaknesses my targets have, besides that I have eyes and ears everywhere, so I won't miss them. All Might, you're I won't let another criminal into this school. Demon, okay, what do you think if we do something, me against your class? If they beat me I'll leave, But if I win I'll stay, that's simple. Lita, you're an idiot, you think you can take on all of us. Demon, ha ha ha, you know something, I control the most dangerous prison in the world and I have the prisoners in my hands, do you think I can't against some brats? Besides I know everything about you and you don't know anything about me. Bakugo, damn extra, you think you're such a big deal, I'll wipe that smile off your face. Bakugo launched himself using his explosions, but before hitting Demon's face some black tentacles stopped his movement, and then Demon approached and gave him a strong blow to the stomach that sent him flying until he crashed against the wall. Demon, as you can see, if you are one-on-one, you will never beat me, so I give you the opportunity to come for me and to give you more advantage, I will let you use your hero suits, so go ahead, I will wait for you here and those who want to fight, that's fine, I will take it as if you accept me or that you don't care. But before you go to change, I want to ask you something, who is Todoroki and Yaoyorozu? The two present stood in front of the others. Todoroki, what do you want from us? Demon, I just wanted to see the faces of the people who tried to save Deku, and tell them that if they want, don't fight them. I don't consider them my enemies, and they are the only ones I recognize as future heroes. Momo, why are you telling us this? Demon, because Deku asked me to, and you are the ones who feel sadder compared to the others because of your loss, so if you don't want to fight that's fine, but if you do, I hope you entertain me. The two looked at each other, and gave a challenging look. Demon, I like that because I'll wait for you here, don't take too long. So the others went to the locker room for their outfits, and Demon stood there next to Melissa. Melissa, why don't you tell them the truth? Demon, it's not the time yet, and if I tell them yet, I don't know how they would react. We will continue to tell them until the time of the main event, so I hope you are also prepared. Melissa, of course I won't let you down. Demon, I like it that way, now all that remains is to see how much they have grown. Chapter 7 Battle Against the Demon. Class 2A is ready. Everyone is already on the battlefield with their hero costumes, and in the middle of the field is the king standing emotionless. King, they took a while but they're ready. Lita, we will show you that you underestimate us. Bakugo, I'm going to crush you. King, well, go ahead, try it. All Might, along with the director and Melissa, watch the battle from the stands. They want to see how strong their students are or the king's level. All Might begin. At that, everyone positioned themselves in formation. Those with long alkes stood back and the others positioned themselves so that those with body-to-body quirks could serve as a distraction. The king didn't move, he looked at them with a serious look. Bakugo couldn't take it anymore and launched himself at Asia, the king. Bakugo, I'll finish you off with my own hands without anyone's help. King, let the game begin. He said to snap his fingers and those who were at the back were thrown against the wall by some tentacles leaving them unconscious. Kaminari, Siro, Mina, Aoyama, Tsuyu, Mineta and Gyro were defeated. King, 7 fell, 12 left, so let's continue. He said to dodge Bakugo's attack and kick him in the back, and that he dodged a kick from Lita. The remaining class launched an attack. Todoroki launches his fire into the distance while Momo creates cannons to distract him. Kirishima launched an attack. The king was limited to dodging. He wanted to see what they were made of, but he heard a noise and punched the air so that something fell to the ground. He had just knocked out Hagakure, who was trying to surprise him, but the king decided to attack and launched himself against Tokoemi, who took out Dark Shadow, but he just hit him and made him fade away to give a blow to Tokoemi that made him debut against the wall. Kirishima again launched himself with his mute unbreak, but the king only gave him a blow so that his body cracked and Kirishima would fall defeated, in that several arms tried to catch him, but he throws a kick that hits him in the chin of Shoji that lifts him a little off the ground and gives him another one in the stomach that causes him to fly off and fall into the stands. Without taking a breath, dodges a jump blow that was already full of sugar, but his blows were very predictable that the king blocked them all, so he hit him in the stomach, so he fell exhausted. The king decided to go for the others but was pushed away by cannonballs that came from Momo, so he began to dodge them, but one bullet was made of something sticky, so he was stuck to 1 foot. Momo smiled, but at that the king ducks to dodge an attack from the eye-tail, but quickly the king takes it to turn it around and throw it towards the cannons. At that he frees himself and starts looking at those who remain. King, well, there are only 5 left, so tell me what other plan you have. It's not great, I haven't even fought seriously and I defeated most of the group. You're a disappointment. But before finishing he dodged an ice attack from Todoroki. Todoroki, don't get too confident, you're not done with us yet. King, it's good that someone sees the opportunities, but you failed, but as a reward I will use a little of my power. He said to create a small portal from where he took out a large, old, blunt thick. Bakugo, do you think that would stop me? Die. He said to throw an explosion at him, but he put his sword in the middle of the impact and returned the attack, making Bakugo receive it. Momo, what was that? Lita, he returned her attack but as meet my first sword, the sword that repels demons. Momo, repels demons means she can return any attack. Lita, if so, it should only work with those at a distance, so I'm going to go, oh Chaco, I'll distract him and go and touch him. Uraraka, understood. Lita launched herself with her thrusters and threw a kick that she blocked with her sword. Lita, that's not all I have, birds reciprocate. He said, but his engines didn't start, so the king took advantage and kicked him. Uraraka, I got you. He said to touch it, but his quirk had no effect on him. Uraraka, what? She said, surprised and scared. King, I'm sorry, but that doesn't work for me. He said to hit her in the stomach with his sword that knocked her out. King, only 4 left, well, who's next? Momo, what happened? I cancelled Lita and Uraraka's quirk. Todoroki, I don't know, but it's better to keep your distance. Bakugo got up from the explosion, he was furious. Orange rays began to come out of his body and he launched an attack at the king. Bakugo, I'm dying, damn ultra explosion smash. He said to launch a powerful attack that when it hit the sword was deflected towards the roof of the gym, but Bakugo moved quickly to be in front of him and take the trigger from his glove. Bakugo, this is your end, compressed explosion smash. But before releasing the trigger, the king acted by putting his sword on the floor. King, 0 ground. He said for the ground to turn black, and at the moment of pulling the trigger nothing came out. Bakugo, what happened? King, what happened was that you lost. This is my zone and no quirk can be used in my zone, so game over. Bakugo, you can't use it either, so we're even and I don't need to use my quirk to defeat you. He said to launch himself against the king, but he just snapped his fingers and tentacles of darkness came out of the floor that trapped Bakugo without the possibility of moving. King, I'm sorry to kill your hopes, but my power can't be cancelled since it's not a quirk. My power is a curse that I mastered to change this world, and you who trust a lot in your power have to learn to know how to lose. He said to hit him in the face, which sent him flying and crashed him against the wall, leaving him out. King, so do you want to continue or do you give up? He said, looking at the 3 who were still standing, but they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how strong he was still or what other powers he had. He was very strong, so they decided to give up. King, so you don't want to continue? I thought you were the great class A, but apparently Deku had high expectations of you. Momo couldn't stand those words, and using a sword she had created before she launched an attack. Her movements were erratic, more as if she just wanted to hit him and she didn't think about her attacks. The king only saw this as an attack of rage. He dodged it easily until Momo stopped her attack. King, what's all? I thought you wanted to hit me. Momo, I still love him, but someone told me that getting carried away by anger doesn't bring anything good, so I will fight with a cold mind and release all my anger. Aizawa. Todoroki, besides, she's not the only one who wants to prove that he's not wrong about us. He said to get into a fighting stance. The king just smiled. King, excellent, that's what I wanted from you too. That your departure will not weaken you, but rather will push you to improve. So, go ahead, I accept your challenge. He said to raise his sword and the floor returned to normal. King, so come with everything you have. Momo and Todoroki looked at each other and nodded to go to the attack. The 2 launched themselves head-on, but Todoroki created a wall of ice in front of them. The king kept watching this to later see that it was a distraction, and Todoroki launched a fire attack from above. The king used his sword to return the attack, but below him a grenade came out that exploded, but he managed to dodge it. When coming out of the smoke of the explosion, he was received by an attack from Momo with the katana that he blocked with his sword. They were fighting with their swords until in a careless moment the king was able to take the katana away from Momo and was about to hit her until a wall of ice separated him so that multiple fire attacks would drive him away. The king only had a smile on his face. He was excited to see how those two worked, but he knew that if he gave them more advantage he would end up badly, so he decided to end this. He launched himself at them head on, dodging and returning the fire attacks until being close to Momo she took out a gun that she had created to shoot him in the forehead with a tranquilizer bullet, but when he saw her again he had a black mark on her forehead, and the tranquilizer hadn't bounced off. The king jumped on her and knocked her down to put his sword on her. He tried to take it off, but he couldn't. He thought too much, and his quirk wasn't working. Todoroki came out from behind a wall of ice and threw a fireball that the king deflected with his bare hand. Todoroki threw himself like this. When he was about to arrive, the king snapped his fingers and Todoroki was stopped by the tentacles of darkness, but burned them with his fire. Sighed. The king just smiled. Todoroki hit him in the face, but the missing man looked for him, but couldn't see him. Before he could react, he heard a noise behind him to turn around and receive a blow from the king, leaving him badly wounded. King, that's it, checkmate, I win. Chapter 8 Interactions After 1 year. The battle had ended. The only one standing was the king without a scratch or trace of tiredness. He approached Momo and took his sword and put it away. Momo got up a little damaged and tired to look around and see everyone lying on the ground, some unconscious, others unable to move and complaining of pain. Melissa, that's how it's done, sensei. You're the best. Nizu, I can't believe he'll defeat everyone so easily. All Might, director, are you really thinking of allowing that monster to study here? Melissa got angry about what All Might said. Melissa, and you, who are you to talk like that? You don't know sensei, and besides, you are also a monster letting someone innocent die. All Might just frowned. All Might, innocent, that brat was a traitor, he put us in danger several times, he deserved what happened. Melissa and some of those listening were angry at what she was saying. Melissa, you're the idiot here for leaving. King, Melissa! Everyone turned to look at the king, who was still standing in the middle of everyone. King, I told you that it's not worth arguing about something that already happened, so leave it like that, it's not worth wasting your words on it. Melissa sensei. King, well, director, I'd better take everyone to the infirmary since I don't think they'll be able to move. He said to start walking towards the exit, but before leaving Bakugo got up under some debris. Bakugo, you're not going anywhere, this isn't over yet, I'll kill you, you piece of trash. He said to activate the one for all and take the trigger of his glove and pointed at the king. The king did not even pay attention to him and continued on his way. That made Bakugo more enraged, but because of tiredness his attack deviated and went directly to where Momo was. Everyone was amazed. Momo could not move, she was very tired, nobody could do anything, and a huge explosion was created. Everyone was scared by what could happen to her partner, but when the smoke cleared everyone could see how Momo was held by the king while he had his hand raised with which he blocked the attack. King, calm down, everything is fine, you don't have to be scared, he said, but without turning to look at her while his gaze remained fixed on Bakugo. Momo, seeing him and hearing those words, could see the image of Deku, which made her shed tears, but she was quickly put on the ground by the king to rest. He approached Bakugo and lifted his head. King, you are a failure as a hero, I still don't understand why he chose you if you are just a child with powers, but this is over, you will no longer have that power. Bakugo, what are you talking about? Damn it, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. The king only brought out tentacles of darkness that held Bakugo, and before that a sword handle appeared, but it was not the same as the others. From that handle came out a dark loop that pierced Bakugo, who only screamed in pain. Everyone feared that he would kill Bakugo. All Might was ready to go stop him, but was stopped by Nizu. He did not know what was happening until the screams stopped, and the king turned around and showed in his hand a bright sphere of many colors. King, don't worry, you still have your original quirk, but this power doesn't belong to you and never will. He said to release him, and he fell unconscious to the floor. Everyone was surprised. Bakugo had taken away his quirk. All Might, damn, what did you do? King, what I should have done a long time ago, and you are just a disgrace. Your teacher would be disappointed. Melissa then. Melissa just got up and went to her sensei. King, here, this belongs to you. Now you will be able to use more power than before, and you will become the new symbol of peace. Melissa, yes, sensei, I won't disappoint you. He said to take the sphere, and it entered his body so that red lines appeared all over his body. King, it seems they accepted you. Well, it would be better to go see our rooms, director. I wouldn't show them. Nizu, of course. He said to jump and fall on the king's shoulder, and the three left the place while the others of Class A were being taken to the infirmary. The director guided them to the dormitories of Class 2A. Nizu, welcome, from today you will live here. He said so they could see a building, so they entered and the director gave them a tour of everything the building had and showed them their rooms. Melissa's was on the girls' side and the king's was Deku's old room. Upon entering, he saw the room was messy and in bad condition. There were hurtful things about Deku and other things. The king just sighed and entered the room. King, so they didn't even respect his room. Nizu, if you want, I'll give you another one. King, don't worry, you've done enough for me. I'll take care of it now. Nizu, okay, I'm leaving. He said to leave. Demon just looked at his room and snapped his fingers so that the darkness completely enveloped the room and disappeared. Everything was in order. Then Demon began to see the room and think what to do now. A noise was heard downstairs to go see to find the rest of the students in the class all bandaged. Some to see him got scared and went to their room. Others just looked at him with hatred, but someone approached to talk to him. Momo, hey, tell me why you're here. Demon, to fulfill Deku's last wish. Momo, and what was that? Demon, protect everyone and change this world. I don't want anyone to go through the same thing as him. Momo, you talk about what happened to him as a traitor. Demon, not only that, there are many things that you still didn't know about him. I'll just tell you that he worked hard to become a true hero, and I won't let his efforts be in vain. With that said, Demon went straight to the door to leave. Lita, where you think you're going? You're not allowed to leave because you're a criminal. He just ignored him and kept walking. Lita, I told you that you're not going to. But before touching him, Lita was hit by a tentacle that threw Asia into a wall, leaving him unconscious. Demon just continued on his way without caring about anything in front of everyone. He left the residence and walked towards the forest that was there to reach a place that said no entry and continue moving forward and get to where Deku used to train before. He looked around until he found a tree with a hole in it, and approached to put his hand in and take out a small box. When he opened it, there were photos and a necklace, but he heard a noise and hid behind the trees to see who it was and see Momo walk through the place. The next one until they reached a small plain, and in the middle of it there was a monument of rocks with Deku's mask. She approached and sat in front of her. He came out of where he was hiding and approached. Demon, what are you doing here? Momo got scared because she didn't expect anyone there. Momo, I just came to say hello. Demon, what is that? Momo, when we found out that Izuku died, Todoroki and I did this in his memory. That news shocked me so much that I haven't smiled much since. Demon, and that's because he was someone very special to you. Momo, of course I felt that he was the first one who saw me as I was and not as I am. He was my first best friend. He supported me and helped me to move forward, and he trusted me to keep his secret. At that, several tears began to fall on the grass. Momo, he promised me that we would become great heroes, but now I miss him so much. I regret not having helped him that day. His smile at the end was the brightest I had ever seen, and even though he was accused, my heart broke. At that moment, I didn't know what to do. When I found out about his death, I felt like everything was falling apart. Demon, then don't cry. Momo, he? Demon, if you loved him, don't cry. He wouldn't want that. Besides, keep going. He's probably looking after you, so you can't stay like this forever. So you better get up and smile to show him that you'll keep going. Momo thought about it, and wiped her tears and stood up to look ahead and see an image of Izuku smiling. Momo, I promise I'll keep going and be better than everyone else. Demon, well said, now we better go, it's getting late. He said to turn around and go back to the residence. Chapter 9, Back to School. Izuku had already returned to his room where he saw that no one had entered in his absence. Seeing everything in order, he sat on the floor and looked for a tablet that would be different from the others. When he found it, he flattened it so that it could be removed and a small compartment could be seen where he had several things: a notebook that said Hero Manual N13, a photo of him and his parents, and a golden heart-shaped necklace that he put on to look at the photo again and say, "Izuku, Mom, Dad, don't worry, I'll keep my promise and become someone you'll be proud of." He said to put the tablet back where it was and go to bed to rest. "Izuku, it's been a long time since I slept in a bed, it feels weird." He said to fall asleep the next day. All the students were getting ready to go to class, but then they heard some footsteps to see Demon peeking out with his uniform on. Everyone saw him, and they were alarmed after what he did to them. Many were still in pain, but someone came over to greet him. "Momo, hello Demon, good morning." "Demon, good morning." "Momo, are you going to have breakfast?" "Demon, I don't have to go to Nisa's office, I have to finish some business, so goodbye." He said to leave the place in full view of everyone. "Jiru, Momo, what are you doing? First you defend the traitor, and now you're befriending a criminal." But he couldn't finish because he received a slap from Momo. "Momo, you don't care what I do with my life. After all, we are not friends anymore, no." He said to leave the place without saying anything else, and she was right. After she fought to defend Izuku and say that he was innocent even after finding out about his death, she always defended him. She knew that her friend was innocent, and she couldn't stand how the others treated him. She was walking to her classroom with a downcast look until someone spoke. "Todoroki, don't cry." "Momo, I'm not crying." He said to look up and see that she had a furious look on her face. "Todoroki, then relax and don't let them affect you." "Momo, I just can't stand how everyone has changed." "Todoroki, I miss him too, he helped me in many ways and I couldn't thank him the way I wanted. Now I can only become the hero that he surely wanted to see." Momo just inhales and exhales to relax. "Momo, you're right, he helped us a lot, and if we fail in that it would be like betraying him." "Todoroki, okay, then this weekend we are going to visit him." "Momo, yes." The two continued their way to the classroom while in the principal's office Demon is with the Nizu. "So what does Demon think?" "Demon, they haven't improved at all this year, they're still the same. I was able to defeat them in the first move, but I wanted to see if they had something to prove, but they didn't fight with confidence, and that was their downfall." "Nizu, then what do we have to do?" "Demon, break them." "Nizu, what does he mean?" "Demon, you have to show them that they are nothing and break them from the inside so that they can build themselves into something new that helps them improve. If they continue in the same way, they will not improve and will die." "Nizu, understood, and how will we do that?" "Demon, increasing training, and the sports festival is approaching, right? Well, I'll take care of it. If you think you're the best, I'll show you that there are beings in the world who are superior." But before continuing to speak, the door opened, revealing Melissa. "Melissa, sensei, you're so mean, you didn't wait for me." "Demon, it's your fault for falling asleep." "Melissa, Demon, well director, we're both here. He wanted to tell us." "Nizu, everything is ready. I just want you to help me keep an eye on the others since we still haven't found the real traitor, so keep a close eye on everyone." "MYD, understood." "Nizu, well, that's all for today, you can leave." The two left the place to go to their classroom. Upon arrival, murmurs were heard saying, "Why does he do that? I don't understand, I should leave it like that." So they decided to enter. When they opened the door, everyone turned to look at them, but what they saw was Momo cleaning the seat that was once Izuku's. Demon didn't say anything, just walked to where Momo was and see that the seat was scratched and had several words written on it that weren't good at all. Demon just took Momo's arm to stop her. "Demon, that's enough." "Momo, no, there are still things written." "Demon, calm down, I'll take care of it." He said to pass his hand over it, and everything that was written on it disappeared, and then he put his backpack there and sat down. "Demon, after all, this is my place, so whoever tries to write something else, I hope they can live without hands." Everyone hesitated because of Demon's comment, so they returned to their seats to wait for the teacher to arrive. The classes passed with total tranquility. Demon showed that he was a genius since he answered every question he was asked as if it were nothing, and sometimes he would correct the teachers. This happened until the training class where everyone went to the locker room and his classmates saw Demon's well-formed body, also full of scars and wounds. No one said anything about it. They just changed and left. When they arrived at the Gamma field, they could see that there was a mountain made of cement. All Might. Alright guys, today we're going to have a little bit of exercise for your bodies, so each of you will be given a sheet with the exercises you'll have to do before the end of the day. At that point, everyone received their sheet and everyone was surprised to see the hellish session they were going to have since the exercises were more than what they had once been told. Lita, Sensei is sure this is not too excessive, all this training? Demon, no, not unless you want to. Better if they can't complete their exercises, they're just a bunch of losers and feel relieved that's half of what they were really going to do. Uraraka, what are you talking about? Demon, if they really want to be heroes they have to become strong and not just depend on their quirk, otherwise one day they will die because they were so confident and yesterday's proof is enough. If I had wanted to kill them I would have done it, and no one would have been able to stop me. Everyone looked at Aizawa the black-haired man with hatred, but then Todoroki and Momo started doing their exercises. They wanted to be strong not only for themselves but for him. Everyone seeing this decided to try it too. Demon, well, one less problem now. Melissa, are you ready? Melissa came out in a vest and wristbands. Melissa, ready? Demon, okay, give me 100 laps around this place using what you can of your power. Melissa, understood Sensei. He said to activate his power and start running. All Might, young demon, can you tell me what Melissa has? Demon, they are weights. Each wristband weighs 100 kilograms and the vest weighs 200 kilograms. All Might, you're telling me he's carrying 400 kilograms. Demon, that's how it is. Every time she gets used to it she gains weight. That's how it has been this year. That's why she has improved a lot. I don't take this as a game. If she wants to be a hero, I will help her to be one. All Might, don't you think it's too excessive? Demon, no, she's barely had her power for a year. Unlike the others, if she wants to match them she'll have to work 10 times harder than the others, so I have to do it, and you tell me what you've done for your students besides turning your back on them. He said to walk towards where the mountain was without saying anything else, and leaving an angry All Might for what he said since he felt that he was making fun of him. Once he arrived at the mountain he saw how some already began to climb it without using their quirk. Demon analyzed each one, seeing how much they could do, and how much they could improve. He had to do it. He had no time to waste. One never knows what the future holds. Chapter 10 Visit. The weekend had already arrived and all the students of Class 2A were in their dorm room, some watching TV, others eating and some just hanging out. Then Todoroki arrived and went with Momo. Today, oi Momo. Momo, what's up Todoroki? Todoroki, I'm sorry, I won't be able to accompany you to the cemetery today. My mom wants to see me and I'll take to see you. Momo, don't worry, I'd still feel good about having some time for myself. Have a good time and say hi to your mom. Todoroki, okay, see you later. Todoroki left Momo, but then Demon arrived and everyone was on guard since he came dressed casually. Lita, and where do you think you're going? Demon, what I do is none of your business. Lita, it is because I am the representative of this class, and it is my obligation to know what everyone does. Demon, I'm sorry, but that rule doesn't apply to me. You don't accept me as a member of your class, so I won't follow your rules. Lita, I don't care if you're going to be here, you're going to. Lita tried to stop him but received a blow that sent him flying and crashing against the wall, leaving him unconscious. Demon, I'll fix it later. Melissa arrives from her training session. Melissa, Sensei, are you going out? Demon, I'll go visit her. It's been almost 2 years since I last saw her. Melissa, I see that things are going well for you. With that she went to her room and Demon left the residence, and walked through the city on his way to the cemetery. Before arriving he bought some white roses. Once he arrived he sat in front of a grave and placed the flowers in front of them. Demon, hello mother, I'm sorry I couldn't visit you. A lot of things have happened, but I'll just tell you that I'm fine. I've become stronger and I no longer let myself be carried away by this power. Now it's mine. My father would be proud, but I still miss them. It was hard to have lost them," he said as tears came out of his eyes. "Demon, but I will still continue fighting to fulfill my promise. I will become what I want to be, and right now I want to be someone who changes this world so that no one else suffers. Well, I think it's time to go. Bye, Mom. I will visit you more often." He said to get up and go to the exit of the cemetery, but before leaving he saw a girl with jet black hair entering. "Momo, Demon, what are you doing here?" "Demon, I was just visiting someone and you." "Momo, I came to leave flowers at Izuku's mom's grave." "Demon, don't worry, I already left him." "Momo, really?" "Demon, that's right." "Momo, okay, is it okay if I walk you back?" "Demon, as you wish." Momo just smiled and the two left the cemetery in complete silence until Momo spoke. "Momo, and tell me, Demon, who you went to visit at the cemetery." "Demon, to my mother." "Momo, I'm really sorry." "Demon, don't worry, that was a long time ago." "Momo, and what happened to him?" "Demon, don't you think you're asking too much?" "Momo, I'm sorry, it's just that I don't know anything about you. Well, nobody knows anything about you, but if Izuku considered you his friend, then you must not be such a bad person." "Demon, okay, but let's go somewhere." Momo just nodded and they went to a deserted restaurant so that no one would bother them. "Demon, 6 years ago my mother became ill with terminal lung cancer. As it was diagnosed in time, there was a way to save her, but it was very expensive, and we had no way to pay for it. My mother was hospitalized. I was left alone. I did not know what to do, so to get money I began to kill. Using this power, I killed anyone who deserved it for money. I did everything possible to save her, but the disease advanced faster than I thought, so I did not have to waste time and I killed whoever it was. If the pay was good, no one would help us, so I panicked. When I finally got the money, it was too late. My mother was already beyond saving. I just got to her room and..." Flashback. "Demon, Mom, look, I already got the money. Now you'll be okay. We'll go home." "Mom, I'm sorry, son, but I don't think I can hold out any longer." "Demon, don't say that, you'll be fine, so don't say that. I worked very hard to get it, so please don't go." "Mom, but tell me, son, is that money clean?" "Demon." "Mom, I already knew how you got the money, the times you tried to hide your wounds or the bloody clothes in your suitcase. I know you did it for me, but no one can decide who lives and who dies." "Demon, but they do the same thing, that's why I..." "Mom, but that doesn't mean you're like them. I know better than them. A mother's job is to watch over her child's happiness. Tell me, that made you happy?" "Demon, no." "Mom, then you don't have to do it again from now on. I want you to live your life the way you want. You can promise me that?" "Demon, of course, Mom." "Mom, that makes me happy, son, come closer." He said so Demon could come closer and give him a hug, which he reciprocated. "Mom, listen carefully, even though I'm gone, that doesn't mean I'll leave you alone. I'll always be with you in your memory and in your soul. As long as those two things exist, I'll never leave your side. You've been the best son a mother could have, but now it's time for me to reunite with your father. So now we'll take care of you from up there. Please don't do anything stupid." "Demon, of course, Mom, I promise I'll live my life my way, you'll feel proud of me," he said, tightening the hug and shedding tears. "Mom, you're wrong. I've always been proud of you and I always will be because I love you, son." With that said, the mother's arms lost their strength and fell. "Demon, Mom, hey Mom, End of flashback. Demons, after that I stayed hidden until I was locked up in Tartaros. When he turned to look at Momo, he could only see tears coming out of her eyes. "Momo, so that's your life. It's very sad how you can still go on after having gone through all that." "Demon, because even though my mother is gone, I promised her that I would move forward, and breaking that promise would be like forgetting my mother and hurting her." "Momo, you are very strong." "Demon, I have to be. I know what this world is like, something that you will discover sooner or later, and we have to be prepared for whatever it is. It would be better if we left now." Momo just nodded, still shedding some tears. The two left and headed back to school. "Momo, you know something." Demon Dime. "Momo, I feel like you would have been no sorry. Let me correct myself. I feel like you will be a great hero." Demon was just surprised at that, and stopped only to see the brunette with a smile. "Mom, you will be a great hero." Demon, I think we have to hurry, it's going to start raining. Momo, but I see it very clear. Izuku, no, it's sure to rain, I think it's already started. Momo, what are you talking about? She just turned around and saw Demon's tears coming out. He put on his hood and continued on his way as if nothing had happened. Momo just watched him walk away, but with one thought. Momo, you may be considered a demon, but you still have such a pure heart that you don't know how to hide it. So she continued on her way to reach him without saying anything else. Chapter 11. I Am the King. Momo and Demon had already arrived at the residence where they separated. Momo went to her room while Demon went to Melissa's room, where he knocked on the door, and it was opened. Melissa, oh sensei, you've arrived, how did it go? Demon, we can talk inside. Melissa nodded and let Demon pass. Melissa, so what happened then? Demon, nothing, everything went well. It's been a long time since I visited her. Melissa, she was a great mother. Demon, one of the best. Melissa, and what did you want to talk about, sensei? Demon, the sports festival is coming up and I need you to show your power and tell the world that you are its new symbol and that you are ready for anything. Melissa, do you think they act? Demon, no, they will not do it since I returned to UA, not since I entered Tartaros. Everything has gone as I planned, but even so, a plan has endless possibilities. That's why you have to be ready for whatever comes. Melissa, understood sensei, I'll be ready. Demon, well, with that I'm leaving. Melissa, it's okay, sensei. With that, Demon left the room and went to his own room. He just walked in and sat at his desk. Demon, everything is going according to plan. I just hope no one finds out about me before then. With that said, I decided to go to sleep. The next day all classes went by normally until the heroes class arrived. Aizawa, attention students, today we will do a special activity. We will take you to the streets so you can see some of the heroes' work. Everyone was excited when the door opened to reveal the former symbol of peace. Tashinori, that's right, it's good to see the heroes in action and learn from them. That's why we'll accompany them, and there's someone else who will accompany us. Go change and see you outside. Everyone nodded and went to change. Some were leaving and saw the current symbol of La Paz at the entrance. Todoroki, father, what are you doing here? Endeavor, I came to help with this class. Todoroki, that's weird, you've never wanted to help. Endeavor, well, my opinion changed when I found out he was here. At that moment, everyone hears footsteps and turns around to see Demon and Melissa in their outfits. Melissa, we're sorry for the delay. Demon, it's good to see you, Flames. Endeavor, but if it's the king himself, I thought you would never leave your kingdom. Demon, you know that sooner or later I would come out and tell me why you are here, perhaps to keep me under control. Endeavor, on the contrary, it is to give you freedom. You will understand when the time comes, but it will be better to go. Demon just nodded and they all left. The group was split in half and they were guided by Aizawa and Endeavor. Demon was in Endeavor's group, who was also accompanied by All Might since he didn't want to take his eyes off Demon. They continued walking, watching minor robberies or helping with small things until they heard gunshots. They went to see what was happening. When they arrived, they saw some villains trying to rob a bank, but they had hostages and the heroes who were there didn't know what to do. They saw Endeavor and thought that everything was solved. Hero 1, good thing you've arrived. We can't get closer if you haven't hurt the hostages. Hero 2, so tell us what we should do. Endeavor was going to speak, but someone interrupted him. Demon, I can take care of it. Hero 2, what are you talking about, kid? Don't get involved in a conversation between professionals. Hero 1, that's right, leave the real heroes. Endeavor, it's okay, you have permission to act. The two heroes were surprised by the statement that Endeavor had given since they did not believe that the child was a big deal. Endeavor, but if any civilian is injured, you will receive punishment. Demon understood. Demon just advanced where all the commotion was, stood in front of the building and spoke. Demon, attention, trash inside, I give you 2 obsessions, either get out of that place and accept your charges or I will stain the whole place with your blood. Villain 1, do you really think a brat like you scares us? You're just scum. Villain 3, they don't think anything is wrong. Villain 4, if you remember, we wanted to do this without harming anyone. Villain 1, warm up you two and obey. Villain 2, like he said, and you brat, if that's the case, we'd better put you in your place. He said to take out a machine gun and point it at Demon and shoot. Everyone got scared and thought it was going to be the end of the young man, but they were surprised at how no bullet hit him. Demon, so that's your answer, okay, let's start this game. With those simple words he disappeared from everyone's sight, and in a flash the villains flew out of the building and being caught by whips of darkness Demon freed the hostages and stood in front of the villains. Demon, well, I gave him 2 options, it's time to accept his decision. Villain 3, please don't kill me, I have a family to take care of. I just helped with this to get something for them. Villain 4, I have a daughter who needs me and I want to help her, please don't make her stay alone. Those 2 villains started to shed a few tears. Villain 1, yes, I also have someone to take care of. Villain 2, I still want to see my wife. While Demon was talking to the villains, the rest of the class had arrived at the place. Aizawa, what happened? Endeavor, don't worry, he already has it under control and is already in the trial phase. Aizawa, trial? What are you talking about? Endeavor, look carefully, young people. Here you will see the difference between a real villain and a fake one. Lida, I'm sorry, but there is no fake villain, they are all criminals. Endeavor, but then what are those who steal? It's their last resort to survive. Besides, there are not only false villains but also heroes, that's why he makes his judgment. Everyone was very united and only saw Demon again. Demon, okay, I'll give you another chance. He said to release them. The villains smiled thinking that they had been saved, but 2 were happier because their plan worked. Demon turned around to return to his group, but then he saw how Villain 2 went against a civilian and took her hostage, taking out a gun and pointing it at her head. Villain 2, ha ha ha, you are a gullible person, did you really think someone was waiting for me? The only love I have is for money. Now are you going to obey all my orders or will they? But before he could finish speaking, the hand holding the gun was torn away to see Demon holding it in his hand. Villain 2, damn bastard, do you think you'll get out of this alive? It won't kill you. He couldn't finish because his head was cut off and fell to the floor. Villains 3 and 4 just stayed where they were but were very afraid of what could happen to them. Meanwhile, Villain 1 took the opportunity to try to escape but was pierced by many spikes of darkness. All the people who witnessed this were scared of how a simple young man had killed 2 people. Demon just approached the 2 remaining villains. Villain 3, please don't kill us. Villain 4, I want to see my daughter again. Demon, then work for me. Villain 3 and 4, Demon, I am Demon, the king of Tartaros, and if you who speak the truth need help, I will help you. Those who are abandoned by this society, those who live in the shadows, I will always understand your hand to help you survive in this world, then accept. The 2 villains just took Demon's hand and nodded while tears fell from their eyes, to which Demon gave them a sincere smile. At that, many police officers arrived and a patrol car under the warden of Tartaros. Warden, I see you put it back together. Demon, you already know me. Take these 2 and tell Yuto to put them to work immediately. If you want to help your family, you will have to endure everything we ask of you, and tell your families that you will be fine. Help them with whatever you can. Warden, understood. You know, Tartaros feels empty without its king. Demon, I lose, but when I'm done, they'll all be able to leave there and live their happy lives. That's all, I'm leaving. Warden, you never cease to amaze me. Well, guys, get to work. You 2, let's go. Your new home awaits. With that, the warden took them away, and Izuku returned to the others, who were scared and angry since that was not the behavior of a hero. Lita, what did you do? Heroes don't kill people. Demon, just because you saw them doesn't mean they don't do it. Besides, they decided. I gave them the option to start over. But those who let themselves be carried away by sins, their blood will run on my hands. Lita, but you still can't do that. How do you think people feel about it? Just arresting them was enough. Demon, and then what? Let them serve their sentence to set them free again and let them do what they please. Sorry, but I don't want someone important to me to be attacked by some of these idiots. There are only two ways, change or die. Chapter 12 Decision and Vision. Lita, but there must still be another way to. Demon, better shut up. You guys think this world is easy, but it isn't. You think that when you graduate the world will be rosy. It isn't like that. The world is dark and bloody. The moment you let your guard down, it will kill you. Tashinori, young demon doesn't think he's being too impulsive. Demon, you have no right to interfere in this conversation. Lita, how dare you speak to the former symbol of peace like that? Demon, symbol of peace, ha ha ha, don't make me laugh. He's not that, just an unbeliever who doesn't know how to measure his words. Tell me all the might. Really, don't you know what he's done to this world, what he's done to many people, and what he did to me? Tashinori, what are you talking about? I don't know you. I barely saw you when you entered UA. Demon, that's what I mean. You don't know the damage you do because you think that everything you do is right without thinking about the consequences. Let's see if these words make you remember. Do you believe that someone with dirty hands can change, can become a hero like you? Those words echoed in All Might's mind, which made him remember a black-haired boy with a hood. 5 years ago. All Might has just saved many people from a building. At that moment, a crowd approaches to greet him. But from an alley comes out a boy who seemed to be 10 years old. His gaze reflected nothing, so he approached his hero and spoke to him. Child, All Might. All Might heard that and turned to see the boy. All Might, what's up, young man? Child, can I ask you something? All Might, sure, tell me. Boy, do you think someone with dirty hands can change? Can become a hero like you? All Might was surprised by the question but thought about it and gave his answer. All Might, no, someone like that can't change, much less be someone like me. Those people can only stay behind bars so they don't harm anyone else. Saying that, the boy looked at him with a gloomy look and looked at the ground. All right, he turned to see the other people. The boy just said, It's okay. All right, he turned around and didn't find the boy. He had disappeared, but it still seemed strange to him that he asked that question. Back to the present. Tashinori, so you were that kid. Demon, that's right, that's when I started to gain fame as a murderer, but I didn't do it for fun, but out of necessity, and when I saw you, I thought you would help me think that I wasn't bad, that I could be better, but your answer killed me. Tashinori, but it's true, those who killed don't deserve forgiveness. Demon, then you don't deserve it either. Some heroes have been killed and yet they continue as if nothing happened because they were villains, isn't that true? Tashinori. Demon, and I wasn't the only one you killed, Izuku too, or did you forget his words? All Might only under the gaze. Izuku, do you think someone without a quirk can be a hero? Demon, and what answer did he give? All Might, no, someone without a quirk can't be a hero. Demon, he not only killed me but also Izuku, and in 2 different ways. Tashinori, he deserved it, he betrayed me, I trusted him. Demon, if that's so, then why did he give her wings to take them off at the slightest provocation? Tashinori, it's not true, you're lying to me. Demon, that doesn't matter anymore, he's already dead and it's because of him. That's why I'm going to change this world, the world that you corrupted. Tashinori, what are you talking about? I was a symbol of La Paz, the pillar that kept everything in order. Demon, and there's the problem. You were the pillar that kept everything heavy with everyone's confidence that you were the one who brought peace to this world, but you only made people useless. Tashinori, it's not true, I kept them safe. Demon, yes it's true, but that made them dependent on you, and what happened when you fell? Melissa, everything you built fell with you. Demon, So much so that people panicked their beloved symbol of peace was no longer there. End of war, and the villains mobilized, making the city more dangerous. Demon, people don't know what to do if you're not there. That's why I won't create a pillar to support everyone. I'm going to create several so that if one falls, others will support him, so that if I die today, tomorrow, in a year or in 100, society doesn't collapse, so that it remains standing no matter what you didn't do. Tashinori, me. Demon, that's why I went to Tartaros to change everything from darkness while I got a new light, and then create more lights to keep this world illuminated. Tashinori, tell me, you're just a dirty villain. Why do you do this? What do you gain from this? Do you want to control us when you accomplish your mission? Demon, I already lived a shitty life in my childhood and I got up right now. Many children are suffering the same case as me, but some remain stagnant and can't continue. I want to give them a new opportunity. To those who were rejected by this society to create a new one, but I know I can't do it alone. That's why I'm here, because I need your help, because you are the future of this society, and if you continue the same path, nothing will change. This war of heroes and villains will continue, and the truth is I'm already tired of it. He said to continue walking without saying anything else. The students were surprised by what he said. Some took it as an insult to them, while others as something that is true. Melissa just followed Demon, while she saw how All Might fell to his knees since she thought about everything he said to say. I was just useless. Lita and Uraraka helped Might get up and continued the path back to UA. Melissa, how do you think they took it? Demon, bad. Well, most people don't find it easy to change a person's mentality. For you, it was easy because you lived on that side, but those who have had everything don't know how to accept the truth. Melissa, and now what's next? Demon, the sports festival is where the real change will begin, where we will show the symbol of peace and the one who rules in the darkness. Melissa, I will give my all to not disappoint you. Demon, I hope so. I don't want you to get distracted by stupid things. If you do, increase your training. Melissa, But Demon put his hand on her head to caress her. Demon, no way. Remember, you're not like them. You have to work 3 times as hard, if not 4 times as hard as them, so they don't leave you behind. Melissa, I know, don't worry. I know you gave me this opportunity, and I won't waste it. Demon, well said. To remove her hand from her head and continue on her way before the gaze of a brunette who saw them. They had all arrived at the UA and went to their bedrooms. Melissa was training in her room until she heard someone knock and went to open the door to find a brunette. Momo, we can talk.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.